My name is Tana. I am 23. I am an influencer. I'm a recording artist, and I'm just overall that guy. People think I'm gay because I'm more feminine than masculine. This right here is just moisturizer. I already pre-washed my face with my cleanser, and I gotta do some shaving and stuff because I grow facial hair. So I don't wear makeup on my skin. Like, I don't do foundation or any of that. Let me post that I have a girlfriend. It got like 5 million likes. And I was like, what the world? Like, all because I said I have a girlfriend? Everybody's shocked that I have a girlfriend. Like, what is wrong with y'all?
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's impossible. It's just, usually when you see someone acting like this and dressing like this as a guy, you tell yourself they have to be either bisexual or gay. I think it's pretty masculine to think like black and white, like only logical, you know? If you recognize patterns in like our regular shared reality, 9 times out of 10, if a boy or a man is like boisterous or kind of basically comfortable with their feelings and emotions and the creative expression, and like they step outside of the man rules for society, naturally you think that they're just like attracted to men because that's usually the only brave souls that do all that. I guess they feel like they have no choice if they are attracted to what they're attracted to. So they might as well dress and act the way they want, which is usually more feminine.
She did get a lot of hate. They was like, oh my God, why you didn't defend me, God?
And then sometimes there's people that pretend to be gay or pretend to be straight just to, kind of mess with someone. Like, sometimes for a really long time, you could be with someone you think is very straight, and they're hiding like a whole other side of their life. Like,
And all of the masculine guys were attacking her and stuff like that. Like, you're a disgrace to society. A lot of people question my last relationship, my last long-term relationship, because obviously I'm not a masculine guy. And the typical way of dating around the world is masculine man and a feminine woman. And that's how it's gotta be. When
I mean, you could do that if you like. You can be whoever you want to be, for real. Like, I think it's somebody for everybody. If you're looking for somebody, like, you should feel comfortable in your skin when you're dating someone, and nobody else's input or opinion should matter. However, sometimes people like to gradually let on an impression that turns into something else sometimes. So it's like you could be feminine and date a woman if you're a guy, or be like if you're not actually gay. But eventually they might come out and say, actually babe, I think I'm starting to like my best friend. And then you kind of just tell yourself, I don't want to say I knew it, but you don't want your heart messed with, for real. You really don't. I'm not gonna say it's inevitable that they will come out and do that or say that, but just they have to understand that's terrifying. And people have been through things like that that could like hinder their trust in dating life, period. And you don't have to fit in with like the societal norms. Like I said, it shouldn't matter what people think, whether you're dating somebody or not, but just make sure you're being honest with someone for real. I don't think I would mind dating a feminine person because I feel like men think self-care is feminine. And when I say self-care, I don't just mean bubble baths and face masks. I mean like being with your emotions and sitting with your feelings, tapping into your feminine side. Or like they think having feelings or showing their emotions is feminine, so they completely disregard that side of them, whatever side it is, and then they end up being like this null, cold extra masculine or like empty person.
I think sometimes men, they don't feel whole, and they tend to feel like, oh, I'm not masculine enough, let me make up for that with more masculinity. And they're missing the point of feeling whole, being actually balancing that out with your feminine side. Like, you don't overcompensate one side to feel more whole.
Because you're denying a whole side of yourself. Everybody has a masculine and feminine side. Like you could be very feminine as a woman or very masculine, and you could be straight or whatever you are.
You straight, and someone replied to him, no, he just like to pretend he is. LOL, my boy is gay as F. And somebody else responded, son is lost. That's what he is.
I'm not saying this is easier done than said, but I feel like people naturally think they know everything or a particular outcome based on their own experience with something else that feels similar. So, we have triggers and we have pattern recognition in life. Like, that's just how our brains work. So if we feel like someone dresses a certain way or does a certain thing, they're going to end up a certain way or do a certain thing. That's just natural. But what meets the eye is not always fact. Perception is something that everyone's allowed to have.
Who's to say anyone is being honest about what they say at all? Like somebody could say they're straight and present straight, and they might be, not straight. So just because you think someone looks a certain way for real doesn't mean they actually are. Like you can't just like write it in stone or think because they would just tell you if they were really. I don't think they would present themselves to the world like this and then just kind of like lie about their sexuality at the end of all that. Like, yeah, I make myself appear gay, but I'm not. I'm just gonna ruin all my chances with my prospective partners. That's like, well, come on. And um, I don't know. Personally, I feel like it wouldn't be an issue to date someone who was like kind of feminine. Not necessarily. It's just I would hope that the masculine side of them is equal. I genuinely enjoy like both feminine and masculine energy, but I prefer when people are balanced anyway, or like try to be. They're not super feminine or super masculine, because a lot of times the mindset is a little outdated. Like when you're around traditionally masculine dudes, they kind of treat women who aren't traditionally feminine like a gay person or like some trash or like a friend, you know, like a guy friend. And it's just kind of strange because
At this point, it doesn't make me feel any type of way. I just see the comment and that's it. I'm numb to it.
People have their opinions and they form their opinions before they even know you'll meet you. So it's kind of like high school too. Not necessarily to say you bully, but you being judged for who you are. It's okay if they don't understand, and it's okay, and it's just going to be at the end of the day.
and honestly sometimes people when they've never seen something before, or you kind of change the script for like what's typical, people like to feel like, okay, that's not gonna last. Or like, even if you're the first person in your family to like go to college, they're gonna probably tell themselves, oh, that's not gonna last because nobody else made it that far. So if you dress feminine and you like women, they're telling themselves that's not gonna last. Like you're gonna end up liking men, because it's just a lot of times people don't step outside of like the norm because of opinions or judgment, like, or perspective opinions and judgment. Whose rules? We the people. What is it? Something where it's like the people kind of like ended up really making the rules for the people. I don't know.
But you gotta get to know people before you judge them. And in that case, there's always gonna be people like that, even on the internet. Just like at the end of the day, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but sometimes it's better to be quiet.
And I agree with her here. It is best sometimes to keep your opinion to yourself. You know, people are sensitive in life. And also, you never know what's going to hurt someone's feelings. You don't want to do that. But intentions are always different from impact. So, honestly, because we live in a country where freedom of speech is 100% allowed, and you can't really stop anyone from saying anything that they don't want to say, or feel the way that they want to feel, or do what they want to do. You can't do that, you know. So you could teach people that their opinion is just as important as anyone who feels entitled to push theirs onto them. So, like, you don't have to teach your sensitive son that goes to school and gets bullied because he dresses feminine that their opinions don't matter. They do matter if you let it. Your opinion of yourself matters just as much as the next person's, if not more. It's just that. You could just simply be yourself and teach your children that, instead of teaching them to ignore other people's opinions. Like, they can have them. Everybody can have one. What a lot of bullies fail to realize is that they need an entire group sometimes to convince someone that their opinion is fact, when in reality, they need to understand themselves, as the bullies, that their opinion cannot be fact. If you need multiple people to prove that that opinion is a fact, that fact would just be understood like the number one.
And it's natural. Like, everybody has an opinion. Like, you're allowed to have an opinion, but just don't really make it a fact. Like, if I feel like someone is like feminine and I'm thinking to myself, oh, they might be gay, I'm not gonna say they are. I just think, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Or if a dude likes me and I just didn't suck his dick the first time I met him, I'm just written off as gay. Like, I don't know.